Hey YouTube, how is it going today? In this video, I want to tell you about another nice looking penny stock called Imagine AR, ticker symbol IPNFF. This stock is absolutely exploding, so I want to show you what they do and then go over their chart. And then as always, I have some other nice looking charts to show you as well. Now, if you're new to my channel, I like to trade and invest using mostly technical analysis. If that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing to my channel so you don't miss any future trading or investing ideas. And I also have my Patreon group linked in the description. In my Patreon, I talk about the trades I'm looking at and the ones I'm taking. And I also do a live stream in the Discord every morning if you want to ask me any questions directly or see what I'm day trading. ImagineAR.com is an augmented reality as a service platform for desktops that enables businesses of any size to create and implement their own AR campaigns with no programming or technology experience. Every organization from professional sports franchises to small retailers can develop interactive AR campaigns that blend the real and digital worlds using Imagine AR. Customers simply point their mobile devices at logos, signs, buildings, products, landmarks, and more to instantly engage videos, information, advertisements, coupons, 3D holograms, and any interactive content, all hosted in the cloud and managed using a menu-driven portal. Integrated real-time analytics means that all customer interaction is tracked and measured in real time. Now, once you activate your augmented reality campaign with ImagineAR.com, consumers download and use the Imagine AR mobile app to experience it. But Imagine AR does way more than just activate and visualize AR. Imagine AR delivers AR scavenger hunts, sweepstakes, rewards, coupons, e-digital cards, and more. Now, in recent news, it says, Imagine AR, an augmented reality company that enables sports teams, businesses, and enterprises to instantly create their own AR mobile campaigns, is pleased to announce that 13 different sports teams, federations, and media broadcasters selected Imagine AR during the Hype Sports Innovation Draft Day. Today's Hype Sport Innovation Draft Day was a historic event for the stakeholders of Imagine AR that goes beyond the selection of 13 rights holders representing a worldwide list of sports federations, teams, and media broadcast groups, said Neil Bandesky, Imagine AR's VP of Sports. Our augmented reality platform is an effective tool to assist sports, music, retail, and entertainment industry to adapt and blaze a new trail for their business models. Thanks to Hype, we can now grow our brand and activate AR solutions for worldwide clients, including the Minnesota Vikings of the National Football League, the Philadelphia Phillies of Major League Baseball, and the St. Louis Blues and Las Vegas Golden Knights of the National Hockey League. Alright, so let's jump over to my TC2000 charting software and take a look at the current action. But first, please remember, I am not a financial advisor, so please do all of your own research before buying any of the stocks that I talk about on this channel. Now, I do not own any of this stock because my broker will not allow me to buy it, but it still is a very nice looking chart pattern, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. But let's go over the run-up that happened in May of last year. See, it had this nice little run-up above the moving averages, and then it started to accelerate all the way into right around 36 cents or so in July. Retraced all the way back down to the 200 period simple moving average, this yellow line on the chart, and this is typically a very strong area of support on the daily chart, so you should always have this moving average on your chart if you're looking for a pullback. It had the snap back up in September and then started to slowly retrace again. It made it almost to that moving average again, but then it started a grinding uptrend. It started to make a little bit of a rounding bottom, and this is what is called, I like to call it a grinding uptrend, because it starts to make a new high and then it slowly retraces back into the consolidation area, but it doesn't make a new low. It tries to make another high again and then immediately reverses back into the retracement area, but it doesn't make a new low. So you can see it's starting to make this uptrend, but it's kind of a creeping uptrend. It's not really a fast one. Now, what you want to look for, of course, is the acceleration. Now, it starts to move up again in February, retraces again back down to the 50 period simple moving average or back into this consolidation range, does not make a new low. You can see that the trend line, if you drew a trend line right here, it would still be up. In fact, let me put it on there real quick. You can see that the trend is still up. Now, once you get this really sharp move up here, and then it pulls back down to the previous high. Now, this becomes the support level. This resistance area becomes support once you get above it. But when it pulls back and does not fall back into this retracement area, makes a low on top of the old high, then you know it's probably going to really accelerate. Now, I am thinking, this is just my opinion, but I am thinking this stock probably still has a little ways to go. I know it is really extended, and I wish I would have found it a couple of days ago to show you when it was actually coming down on this support level, but this is usually the part in a chart where the stock price really starts to accelerate. If I was able to purchase this stock, I would probably still take a small starter position, even though I don't like buying them when they're extended like this. This chart pattern is showing me enough that we could be going into that hyper acceleration phase. Let me get this off here real quick, because when you guys see this pullback like this, not only are you looking for it to hold this resistance area, which becomes support once you get back above it, but you're probably also thinking, when do I buy the stock? And what I like to do is go intraday. I like to go to the 15-minute chart. Of course, this is the pullback right here, and I like to wait for it to get back above these moving averages. Once it gets back above these moving averages that I have on the chart, and the white one is the 8-period exponential moving average, the purple one is the 21-period exponential moving average, the blue one is the 50-period simple moving average, and the yellow one is the 200-period simple moving average. But once it gets above these first three, these slower moving averages, or I should say these faster moving averages, not necessarily above the 200. When you go intraday, the 200 doesn't matter as much. You're looking at the 8, the 21, and the 50. So once price gets back above those moving averages, that is when I look to get into the stock. Now, I want it to go past those moving averages, and then I want it to hold and then start to accelerate up. Now, if I zoom in a little bit, it starts this move up, holds that 8-period exponential moving average, and once it does that, chances are it's probably going to go on a decent run. So even though this move is pretty extended at the moment, you can see there's still plenty of volume coming in, and if I had to guess, I would say there's probably still some move left in this chart. There is a little bit more risk involved since, of course, it is extended and it is right here at this resistance area. So it is possible that it could retrace back down. But as long as it holds these two moving averages right here, there's a pretty good chance that it's going to start right back up, because this is the beginning of the trend acceleration phase. Now, of course, there is no guarantee it's going to take off, so you have to use proper money management. If I was buying this stock right now, I would actually give it a big stop loss all the way down here past the old support level. Now, that's a long ways down, so I would compensate for that by taking a smaller than average position. Whenever you give your stocks like this, you want to give them a little bit more breathing room. You have to take a smaller position, because if the chart pattern does fail, it can create a substantial loss to your account, and you don't want that. You want to keep your losses as small as you possibly can and give your winners a chance to run. But IPNF is a very nice looking chart pattern at the moment, and even though I cannot buy any, I am going to be watching this one pretty closely for the next couple of days, because I'm thinking this thing has a pretty good shot of getting close to around $1 a share. All right, so let's take a look at some other nice looking chart patterns I found of some stocks that I think have a pretty decent chance of heading up in the very near future. Now, most of these stocks are pretty cheap stocks, which is not typical for me. I usually find a bunch of stocks that are over $1, but most of these are under $1, and for whatever reason, that's all that was really showing up on my scans. But the first one that I want to show you is XFLS, and this one is trading under 4 cents a share, but looks like it is starting to build up some momentum. You had all of this volume come in January. It immediately reversed and then came right back down into this consolidation range, had another jump up on huge volume in March, but pulled back again, found support at the 50-period simple moving average, and now it looks like it is starting to build momentum again. again. There's definitely volume coming into the stock. You can see today's volume is well above the average. So I don't know if it's ready to take off just yet, but it definitely looks like it is building momentum for another move up. So XFLS is one that should definitely be on your watch list. Now, I probably cannot buy this one, but if you guys like lower price stocks, then this is a pretty decent video because that's about all that was popping up today. But the next one I want to show you is LTNC. If we look at LTNC, it has already had a pretty nice move. So this one is pretty extended, so I would be careful with this one. But I just wanted to show you this pattern because this is how these uptrends usually take place. So once you see uptrends like this is exactly what you want to look for in future charts. So you get this movement up, then it holds that 8-period exponential moving average, has another move up, and then starts to make a little bit of a hook. You know, it has to come down and find support at these moving averages before it can take off. Once it jumps back above that 8-period exponential moving average, there is a pretty good chance that it could be off to the races again. So right around here is where you want to be entering it if you can. This is probably the lowest risk part of the chart because you know if it rolls over and breaks these moving averages, from a technical perspective, it's probably not going to be going up in the near term, so you can exit that stock with a small loss and just look for another opportunity. But if it does take off, you just buckle up and hold on to something because this ride is just getting started. But if we look at this chart pattern, it is holding near the highs that it just made a couple days ago. So this is actually very bullish. Now, this could be a continuation formation if it hangs up in this area until this white line catches up. If it comes down to this white line, finds support like it did right here, and then starts to make another one of these candles, it could be headed up again. So LTNC is definitely on fire, but I just wanted to show you this chart because this is exactly what you want to be looking for. Next one I want to show you is AAGC. This is another super cheap stock. It is under 2 cents a share. It is at about 1.3 cents a share right now, but looks like it is just getting started. It had this early move up in February, pulled back to the 50-period simple moving average, and started winding up again. And I think there is a pretty good possibility that this one could be just getting started. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if this one is much, much higher in the next coming days or weeks. Just a very, very nice looking chart pattern. Of course, if this thing rolls over, it heads right back down here. Of course, it's pretty extended actually right now. But it could definitely go much higher than this. I mean, this bar could look absolutely tiny if it takes off. But as of right now, it's kind of extended. But if it falls back into this area, you probably, unless you want to hold it for the long term, you probably just want to take your, your small loss because you don't want to be taking a huge position on these cheap stocks. And then either wait for a better entry if it starts to build more momentum again or take off and find another opportunity. Next one I want to show you is FTXP. FTXP also looks like it is just getting started on the second run up. We had this big move up in March, came back down to these moving averages. So you want to watch these moving averages. Definitely want to put these moving averages on your charts because they find support at them so often. And then once they hold them and start to move up, that is a pretty good opportunity to risk-reward opportunity to enter these chart patterns. So I used to love trading these lower price stocks in the day. I think I'm going to have to switch brokers because there's so many stocks making these great patterns right now. Back in the day, you didn't see too many of these patterns, and now they just seem to be showing up all the time. So I think I'm definitely going to be switching brokers because I'm tired of them telling me what I can and can't trade. I've been trading for long enough to understand risk versus reward. So you think they would let me trade them, but I guess not. All right, the next one I want to show you is TH. One of the guys in the Patreon has been trading this one, and this one is still making a very nice looking chart pattern. It had a couple of ugly reversals, but it held that fast line, that T line, the white line, which is the 8-period exponential moving average, and it is holding it, so it wouldn't surprise me one bit if this thing is just exploding higher in the next couple of days or so, because it's definitely holding that moving average, and that's what you need in order to have the next leg up. So TH is looking super good, and the last one I want to show you is BKEP. BKEP is actually an oil and gas stock. If you back out of here, we can see that it has been trending up for many months. Had a huge move up in March, made a bullish flag formation, and now it is breaking out of it. It broke out of it last Thursday, and it's getting some follow through to a new high today. So I would guess this one is probably going to keep going because it held near the old high. There wasn't a lot of selling coming into this stock, so chances are the buyers are still in control of BKEP. So if I was going to be buying this one, I'd probably be buying it right now, and then I would place my stop under this support level. So you'd be risking about 20% or so on this trade. So you'd want to adjust your money management accordingly. Whatever you can stand for a 20% loss, because you always have to be prepared of what how big the loss can be. So on a position like this, where I would give it about a 20% area to swing, I would probably take a little bit smaller position, but BKEP definitely looks like it could be heading higher in the next couple of days or so. All right, guys, well, that's all I have for this video, so I'm going to end it right there. But if you have any questions about any of these stocks, or if you have any other stocks you want me to take a look at, please leave them down there in the comment section. I will get to them as soon as I can. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, guys, and until next time, take care.